Hi there, this is Roseanne with the Uplift Community of Faith. So, I had a couple things that I wanted to talk to you about tonight. I reviewed a video recently of a woman who is very well known, and she was talking about what to do in a faith crisis with your loved ones. And so, she offered two basic fears that everybody has when someone comes to you with a problem. One of them is that you are feeling like you need to control the situation. You're so scared that this person's going off on a tangent and you need to save them. So there's this fear that you need to control things, and as they are out of control now, you need to get them back into control so that you can have a desired outcome. And this is caused by a primal feeling to cause, like a safe space for our children, almost like we want to make sure that everyone's safe and protected. And so this is kind of out of like security feelings. Anyways, I really love that part of the video, and I agree with that. That is a fear a lot of people have. And unfortunately, it causes people to want to control and to manipulate and to really start a spiral of events, backfiring, reactionary things. So all those things are awful, and they make things harder. All we need to do is remember the atonement of Jesus Christ is going to cover all these things, and we need to relax and let them go, increase our love for that person, and listen. And then after we listen, we're going to listen. And then after we listen, we're going to listen some more. And until that person is asking us questions, we don't need to offer much other than listen and love them. So I really loved that part of the video. The second part was that another fear that you might experience is that you might feel like it's you failed, and you were supposed to be this, and this, and you just weren't. And she said that that is a very normal feeling to have, and that most people feel that way that are very normal people. And I totally also agree with that. Everything that we've ever encountered in Uplift, when we collect data from people on how they feel and some of the problems that they encounter, this one does come up. And it is people who feel like they have failed as a parent, as a sibling, for their loved ones. And in all reality, again, we're trying to take responsibility for someone else's feelings, and that's not needed. So I really enjoyed watching the video. Now, there is just a few things that I thought was worth mentioning when that video was airing. Some of the things you need to realize are that we're pushing this love, and accept, and that's what we want to do. We want to love, we want to listen, we want to accept them. We also don't want to start treating them differently, okay? That's where it gets a little tricky, and I'm sure that's why she couldn't dive into that part of the video. But we don't want to start treating people differently and awkwardly. We don't want to turn into some type of doormat where anything goes and just, oh, but they'll come back to the gospel if I just do everything that that person wants me to do. Okay, that again is still actually forms of you trying to control a situation. What you need to do is just stay you and be yourself and be loving. And if it doesn't feel natural to do those things, okay, then maybe you ought to work on that. But really, you want to still stay who you are. And so if you are able to talk with that person and work with them, you might be able to say, see if you're still able to talk about certain topics. And if certain topics cause pain, try not to do that. There has to be mutual respect in all relationships, right? Every relationship on this planet requires that. So anyways, those are a few of my thoughts. I also wanted to offer the idea that you should not have a shallow theology. That's something my friend Amanda Freeburn said today, actually. Shallow theology is going to leave you feeling like people who stray from the path they're done, and that just isn't correct. I mean, I believe in a very strong Jesus Christ, one who, what scholars might say, did the harrowing of hell after he was crucified on the cross. That means he went right into spiritual prison and redeemed souls from there. And I absolutely believe in his power and majesty and might to save people, to find them. The second someone's willing to turn towards Christ, he's there. And so I I really don't believe in this wimpy, weak Christ. I think that he will find people who want him and who are looking for him. And so I don't need to worry as much to be in control, because the truth is we can only control this, the person we want to be. And that was also, the person we want to be was also in the video. And I thought that was a really nice touch. We really can only control the person we want to be. And what do we want to be? We want to be a mentor. What would a mentor do? They wouldn't freak out. They'd be like, ah, this is a part of life. This happens. People taking the road that goes from A to B, and that road is just simply A, us, B, Christ. And sometimes they got to go X, Y, Z, and that's okay till they get to that, till they get to Christ. Sometimes these things happen. Now, does that mean we enable people? Does that mean we push people? Does that mean that we jump on their bandwagon and start having doubts ourselves? There's a lot of other things that you want to think about in there, but when you start going down the road of guilt and despair and control, those are always going to be bad for you. The second you open up your heart to that there's more and you expect more, the stronger your theology becomes. And I think that's where we want to head. We want to strengthen ourselves. If you think that this one way is the only way all people should go, you would probably be wrong. There's hundreds of accounts, scriptural accounts, of somebody who went all over the place and somehow came back. There's also a lot of accounts of people who started off on a great path and then went off the rails. Does our story end at death? These are things you should ask yourself. Does our story end? Is there ever an end to our learning, to our growth? Everything scripturally that I've ever read shows constant salvations, constant reaching. So I think that you might want to adjust your panic when these things happen and search for the peace of Christ. My peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you, meaning not in a way that's shakeable. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Thanks for watching.